and welcome back to another vlog. Today I am heading to Bath & West show to set up. So today is Wednesday, so I'm going to set up today and then the show runs from Thursday to Saturday. In the last vlog you will have seen me getting ready for Bath & West show, and I will have explained that I'm staying at my parents' house. So I have currently just arrived at my parents'. They're not in at the moment, but I'm just unpacking stuff that I don't need, and I needed to pick up a few bits that I had ordered to their house. So I am going to do that, and then I will catch you at the showground. See you in a bit. I have a lot more room than normal, so I've just spaced out my colouring books here. My sum up machine is just going to go here. My notepads are just there. I have left some room because normally people like to put their drink down somewhere. So I've got my notebooks that are B grades, so I've just put them in there. And then the notepads at the back. I did bring my lino prints, and we've also got some extra sun catchers behind here that if people want to look at, or if these sell then I can move them down. I found out this bundle, which is the last one I've got packaged up, and I've actually taken these T-Rexes off and I've put them here. I haven't got many left of them, and if I sell out of another design I will put them up, but at the moment that's what it's looking like. I have even got a full corner for tote bags. So I've got all of this design on this side, and then I've got the two floral dino ones there, and the black cat one there. I have bought my gacha. There's not many prizes left, so we'll see if they can go. I made a second sign for my portrait, so I've got a second panel up here. I may move that, I don't know, it's a little bit hidden. I don't know whether to just put it on top. And then around the back I've got my stationery box at the bottom, space for my water bottle. There my magnetic planners in the folder with my inventory sheet there. All my charms here. This box is going to move over here in the morning. There are more mystery bundles, pens for the magnetic planners, and then I've got envelopes there and a couple more Suncatcher designs up there. You can see sort of the monstrosity that I've got of tote bags. I only had one panel, so that's all them. This is a box of random stuff if I need to top up, so like some sticky notes, business cards, sticker packs, pens, that sort of thing. It's more self-serve stuff that I don't need to grab straight away. Colouring books are going to stay here. At the moment my new order hasn't actually been dispatched, so I've only got 3 of them, so I'm hoping they'll come. Tissues there, very important, and I've got my paper bags just there, and stock of my tote bags. That bag is green jumpers, that one's natural jumpers, and then I've got more in here. I've just pulled out like one of each size. I've got bum bags there, and then that bag has all my t-shirt stock, and in the morning I'll pull out so I can sort of organise the different designs. This box here is just on the stool so that the box isn't on the floor in case it rains. That has just got notebook and notepad stock in there. And then I've got my little stool. Here I've just got bum bags. So I've got the cat one, floor dino, and then up here I've just hung it from the bottom of my banner. That's the space dino one, that's a new one, and I've actually kept one for myself. So we will be modelling that. So yeah, this is my setup. So I've just got in and I'm just heading to Gift and Lifestyle, and I will show you the little setup once I sorted it all out. So this is the setup this morning. As you can see, it was a bit damp in here overnight, so you can't even read that one, and it is too tall for me to try and sort out. So I'm not sure what we can do about that. Also, the price isn't very visible, but I can tell people the price, that's no problem. And I just need to sort out the key rings because they're all a bit jumbly. So I didn't do this yesterday when I did my setup just because I forgot, but because they get a bit messed around in transit, you normally just have to wiggle them around so that they then sit flat. Annoyingly, these have become a bit bubbled as well. I'm hoping that throughout the day they become less bubbled, because I've only just redone them and I don't want to have to do them again. Because these ones have also gone bubbled, but I'm just not going to touch them and hope they re-stick down. And then here, because I've got the extra sticker pack, I put the 3 coaster designs sort of across the 2, and then brought the other sticker pack down so you can see it. And then here is the box of cactus designs that are all discontinued. So I priced them at £6 each because they're still perfectly fine. There's another sad sign. I may just lie it down on the table for the time being. And these are also a bit warped as well. You can kind of see it more at the side. So I'm all set up now. It's about 8:30, so I've got half an hour to go. I will try and update you to tell you how things are going. It's quite busy in here with people still setting up. Also, it's typical that MegaCon London tickets are going on sale at 2 PM today, so I'm going to try and get some tickets to trade there, but we will see if I get a table or not. So I thought I'd do a quick little check-in. It's very hot in here, so my fan is going. I have made, I think, just over £300, so it's not the most profitable market I've ever been to, but it is only Thursday and it doesn't end until 6, which is like 3.5 hours away yet. So we've still got 3.5 hours. We have just had a busy period, which I haven't actually added up how much I've made so far. So yeah, we'll see. I'm also just rebagging all of the little phone rings. So I'm taking off the film that protects them in transit, and then I'm putting in a little application guide and then putting them back in the bag, just because I didn't have time to do that before I came. So I'm just going to do a check-in. I've made over my minimum for today, which is really nice. It's just over a little bit, so it'll count towards tomorrow's as well. I was hoping to have made back table today, but it was a bit of a high hope because that's 600, but nearly there. So I'm hoping tomorrow goes even better. I have underestimated some designs that I thought would sell more and clearly overestimated other things. So best sellers for today have been this keyring. I'm gonna have to pick up more from my mum's because I'm nearly out of stock. And then also, surprisingly, Batcat. The gift bundles, I've only got this one left. The Halloween ones have gone, and this is the last dino one. Some catches haven't done too well, but I've still sold a few. I did get rid of one of the B grade notebooks. A lot of pens have sold. And then surprisingly a lot of phone rings. No interest on colouring books, which I guess is good because my order hasn't been dispatched. And then I did sell a couple of mystery bundles, and I've gotten rid of a few of my clearance cactus key rings. Coasters have also done well. And I did even sell one of my new dino t-shirts, so I'm very happy about that. And then I also sold a cat t-shirt. So I have just arrived at the show. I've just parked up. I am so tired. It is day 2. The hours are still 9 till 6. They're 9 till 6 every day. I'm hoping today's going to be a little bit busier, but we will see. So I will catch you in a bit. Just got my coffee and thought I'd stand and watch the horses for a minute because they were doing some practice show jumping. Day 2. We have moved these, so I've got the T-Rex now on show for the sun catchers. For the sticker sheets, I've just moved the sign up and I've put the dino sticker sheets higher up so you can see them a bit easier, and then the cats at the front. But nothing much has really changed apart from that. So I never actually ended up doing any update today because it's been a little bit busier, but I moved the wall to the side so that it actually faces the front and the desk mat hangs a little bit lower. Then here I've taken away the gachapon because no one was spinning it and it was just attracting kids asking what it was, so I didn't see the point in having it. But nothing else has really changed with my setup. The best sellers for today have been my Anxious Cat sticker pack. Again, the fluffy black cat keyring and the Everything is Fine keyring. And then also I did actually sell another Bat Cat keyring, so he's still going strong. I even sold a bum bag today, a Ask Me About My Cat t-shirt, and I've sold out of small and medium of my Dino t-shirt, so very happy with that. So I am just coming on to a little bit of a recap and review of the Bath & West show. First of all, I'll do a little bit of a review and then I'll go over my finances at the end. So the application process was pretty easy for the show. I contacted them to be added to a waitlist to know when the applications would be open. Then I just applied online. It was a simple form. I heard back about a month later, which is how long they said it would be. I opted for the Gift and Lifestyle tent. This was for a couple of reasons. One being the weather. If it did happen to be torrential rain when we were there, then it would mean that I wouldn't have to worry about being in a gazebo on my own. The other reason was because there'd be other traders in the area, so you'd have a higher footfall of traffic, and they would also likely be more willing to purchase because they're in a buying area. I do think that the footfall was higher in this area when I was there, just because when I was walking around the show, everybody was spread out quite a lot, but in the actual trading tents, there was obviously a lot more people condensed in. Pitch size I went for was 3 by 2 meters because this was the smallest pitch size you could get. It wasn't just like table sizes, it was done on meters, and 3 meters width was the smallest, and then it was like 4, 5 or 6 meters. Setup was simple. You could drive into the showground, park next to where you needed to unload. I did use my trolley to move everything though between the car and my actual pitch because I had my table and everything, and I didn't really want to put out extra energy when I didn't need to. So day one when I arrived, it was a bit confusing where to actually park because the information I was given was that I could park in the forward parking area. It didn't specify what car park, it didn't specify which car park I should go to for like the area I was in, and I didn't really know where the forward parking was, so that was a bit confusing. But in the end I just entered the closest car park and then I drove up, and it turns out that was the closest car park that I could park to where I was set up, so that was a good choice. I did anticipate that I might not know where I was going, so I did allow a bit more time on the first day just for setup and also finding coffee and if I wanted to have a walk around and things like that, or if I needed to do any like last minute things on my table. When I got to the tent, straight away I could see that there were still people setting up. So I think some people had come in the morning. There was like a lot of noise still going on in the tent, but that was fine. It was like at 8 o'clock by the time I got there, so they still had an hour to set up. I could also see that there was quite a few gaps in the tent where either people hadn't turned up or they hadn't booked people in. Personally, I don't really like seeing this when I go to a show or a market, just because it looks a little bit unprofessional and it doesn't look good for the customer's point of view either, because then they can see the backs of other people's tables and it just looks a bit messy. So that wasn't great. I feel like they could have perhaps maybe spread people out a little bit more. Each day I had set a minimum for £400, which is double the cost of the table for that day. So Thursday was pretty quiet for sales, so I made the bare minimum. In the end I did take £460. The last sale I took was about 4:30, so I had an hour and a half where I had nothing to do. So luckily I had taken my iPad, so I did some drawing while I was there, and I'd started designing my cottagecore sticker sheet, so I was at least still productive, but it was a boring hour and a half because the only people there were traders at that point. Day 2 was Friday, and I had been told on the Thursday that sales would likely increase on the Friday and then increase more on the Saturday, and so I did put quite a bit of like anticipation on Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, that was not a good idea to do. In total on Friday I took £493, so it wasn't that much more than Thursday. The Friday foot traffic was a little bit more than Thursday, but it was pretty similar between Thursday and Friday for foot traffic. The whole of Friday I was slightly behind my Thursday's takings, so I had that kind of like looming over me the whole day, but in the last 2 hours it kind of overtook it because I was still trading like later on in the day. Day 3 was Saturday, and this was a huge disappointment. So after Thursday and Friday being really quiet of sales, I was really hoping that Saturday would like pull out the bag and I would be making a decent amount of profit, but it just didn't. I ended up taking £401, which was less than Thursday's takings, and the footfall was so much more. It was so much busier on Saturday. There were so many more people coming through and I made less money, and I think my last sale was something like an hour, more than an hour before the end. So it was a bit of a disappointment, but my mum did come with me on Saturday, so it made packing up a little bit quicker and easier, and it meant that I could actually go and have a look around the rest of the show properly. So overall, I ended up taking £1,354.50. It cost me £612 for the pitch, and then it cost me about £35 in fuel. That includes travel from my house to my parents' house, and then from my parents' house to the showground every day, and then back from my parents' house to my house again. Sum up fees were about £6.50, so it wasn't that much because most people paid by cash. After all my product costs are taken out, my profit was only about 3 to 4 days worth of pay if I was working 7 hours a day at minimum wage. So in my opinion, this is not worth it for me, because I spent a week preparing for the show, and then I was there for 4 days because that includes the day for setup, and then a day after where I then travelled back from my parents to home. So in total it was actually 12 days worth of work, and they would have been more than 7 hours days, so it was quite disappointing, if I'm honest. So would I do this event again? The answer is very unlikely. I certainly wouldn't do it if the price stayed at £612 for a 3x2 metre pitch, because quite frankly I can't make that money back. I'm not sure that the crowd itself was the right crowd for me either, but I am glad that I did give it a go, because I wouldn't have known otherwise if it was going to be good or not. So I am glad I did do it. I think that that's all I've got to say about the show. If you have any questions about anything that I haven't mentioned or that you want me to explain further, just pop them in the comments below. My next vlog will actually be a dog show, which I don't normally do dog shows anymore, and it is also a small local one. However, it is the first market that I ever did last year, so I kind of want to do a little comparison of my setup now versus a year ago, and then also just the fact that I'm more confident in trading, so how I find it. So I am going to leave this vlog here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.